Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continuing on our topic on fractions. This time it's on multiplying a mixed number with a whole number. So let's start. Our learning objective for today is we are multiplying a mixed number with a one-digit whole number. Our S to S step to success for today are the first one is we need to convert the mixed number into improper fraction, which we have done last year in year 4. Step 2, use cancelling method or use cancelling method, which we need to multiply the whole and the denominator. Step 3, or use the normal method of multiplying fractions. And step 4, simplify if can. So before we start with today's lesson, let's just quickly recap our basic lesson on converting or changing mixed number into improper fractions, which we did last year. So we have two wholes, 1 out of 4. We want to change it into something that looks like where the numerator is bigger than the denominator, and we call it an improper fraction. So how do we do that? I like to call the method as the clock method because the way we move through changing the mixed number into improper fraction is like a the hands of a clock moving but in opposite direction. So do you remember clock method? So it is where we multiply the whole with the denominator, and then we multiply the denominator with the numerator. Sorry, not multiply, where you plus. But it is advisable if you can do a side calculation. This is to avoid confusion between your calculation. So we have 2 times 4, which gives us 8. So we're gonna circle the 8 and then we're gonna bring it down. So 8 plus 1. So if you look here, 2 times 4 gives 8. Then 8 plus 1 gives 9. So let's do a shape around it, like a flower shape. So you're gonna take the 9 as the new numerator now, and the denominator stays as 4. So do you remember our exercises, or do you remember a lesson on this one? It helps if you can practice converting mixed number into improper fractions. Just take any random mixed number and then convert it into improper fractions using the clock method. This will help you with our LO for today. So today, back to our topic for today. Today we are multiplying mixed number with a one-digit whole number. So example 1, we have 4, which is a one-digit whole number, times a mixed number, which is one whole, 1 out of 2. Step 1, convert the mixed number into improper fraction. So we have one whole, 1 out of 2 here. It helps if you do a side calculation so you won't be confused as to what you are doing. So the clock method is where you times and then you add. So 1 times 2 gives 2, and then 2 goes down, plus 1 gives 3. So changing this to improper fraction becomes 3. Take the 3 as your new numerator. Out of 2. The denominator stays the same. So that is step 1. Let's just write that down. So 4 times 3 out of 2. So we have changed the mixed number into improper fraction. That is step 1. Step 2 and step 3, you are free to use cancelling method or the normal method, whichever method you feel confident on using. So I'm going to show you two ways here. The first one is we're going to first use cancelling method. So cancelling method is where you deal with the denominator and the whole only. If you could not recall what a cancelling method is, you can rewatch my previous video lesson on that last week. So we're dealing with the whole and the denominator. Is there a common factor between 4 and 2? Obviously there is. So we are dividing 4 by 2 and 2 by 2. So 2 divided by 2 gives 1. 4 divided by 2 gives 2. So whatever left is, so we have done step 2. So 2, you just bring it down times 3 out of 1. What is 3 out of 1? 3 out of 1 is just simply 3. So 2 times 3 gives 6. So the answer is 6. It's okay if your answer is a whole number instead of a fraction. It happens because this happens to be 3 out of 1. So 3 out of 1, which is the same as 3 divided by 1, is the same as 3. So 2 times 3 gives 6. So this is when you use a cancelling method. So what happens if you use the normal method, like our first lesson on multiplying whole with a proper fraction? So we have 4 times 3 out of 2. Say you are using step 3, use normal method. Normal method is where you are dealing with the whole and the numerator. So when you multiply them together, they become 4 times 3 becomes 12, and the denominator stays. So can you simplify? Can you reduce the fraction? Can you divide the numerator and the denominator by a same factor? Obviously, yes, you can. So dividing this by 2, dividing this by 2. So 12 divided by 2 gives 6. 2 divided by 2 gives 1. 6 out of 1. So what is 6 out of 1? Anything that is out of 1 gives the number itself, because anything divide by 1 gives the number itself. So 6 divided by 1 gives 6. So we achieve the same answer for any of the method. This one is cancelling method, and this one is the normal method. So whichever method that suits you the best, you can use that. Example 2, 2 times 2 wholes, 1 out of 3. Step 1, convert the mixed number into improper fraction. So the mixed number is 2 wholes, 1 out of 3, using clock method where you need to multiply and plus. So we have 2 times 3 gives us 6, and then 6 goes down, 6 plus 1. So 6 plus 1 gives 7. So give any shape around 7, because you know that's going to be your new numerator. And the denominator stays as 3. So this is your improper fraction now. So we have done step 1. Let's just bring everything down. So we have 2 times 7 out of 3. Step 2, use cancelling method, whole, and where you deal with the whole and the denominator, or use the normal method. Now, sometimes the cancelling method do not apply, because let's focus on the whole and the denominator here. So you have 2 and 3. Can you divide 2 and 3 using a same factor? Can you divide 2 divided by 2? Yes. 3 divided by 2? No, you cannot. So this is where the cancelling method is not applicable. So you move on to the normal method. The normal method is where you are dealing with the whole and the numerator. So we have 2 times 7 gives 14 out of 3. So that is step 3. Step 4, simplify if can. Ask yourself, can you simplify this fraction further? Can you reduce it to a smaller fraction? If not, then the answer stays as 14 out of 3. Example 3, 5 times 1 whole 3 out of 10. Step 1, convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. So the mixed number is 1 whole 3 out of 10. Converting it to improper fraction, you use clock method where you multiply and then you plus. So 1 times 10 gives 10, and then 10 goes down. 10 plus 3, this becomes 13. So put any shape around 13 so that you know that's going to be your new numerator. So we have 13 out of 10. So step 1 is done. You have converted the mixed number into an improper fraction. So that is step 1. So this becomes 5 times 13 out of 10. Step 2, use cancelling method, or step 3, use normal method, whichever method that suits you the best. You can also use normal method for this one if you're not confident enough to use cancelling method. So for cancelling method, you are focusing on the whole and the denominator. Ask yourself, can you divide both numbers using the same factor? Yes, so you can divide it by 5. So 5 divided by 5 gives 1. 10 divided by 5 gives 2. So whatever that is left, bring it down. So we have 1 times 13 out of 2. So 1 times something gives, 1 times a number gives the number itself. For example, 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 13 is 13. So this is the same as 1 times 13 out of 2, which is, you can do normal method for this one. 1 times 13 is 13 out of 2. Then step 4, ask yourself, can you simplify? Can you make this fraction smaller? If not, then it stays the same. So that is when you're using cancelling method. So let's try using the normal method. So we have 5 whole, sorry, that's not 5 whole. 5 times 13 out of 10. So the normal method is where you deal with the whole and the numerator. So 5 times 13. If you can't do it in your head, you can always do a side calculation. So I'm just going to do it on top. 13 times 5 is 3 times 5 is 15. 1. 5 times 5 is 5, plus 1 is 65. So we have 65 out of 10. So that is done. Step 3. This is the normal method. Step 4. Ask yourself, can you simplify this fraction further? Can you divide it by a same factor? I think you can. So you can divide this by 5 and you can divide this by 5. So 65 divided by 5 is 13. 10 divided by 5 is 2. The answer is 13 out of 2, which is the same as the cancelling method as well. So again, whichever method you're using, if you're using it correctly, you will get to the final and the same answer. Now it's time for you to try. Take a piece of paper with a pen or a pencil, or your mini whiteboard with your marker pens. Follow the S to S. First thing first, you need to convert the whole, which is 2 wholes, 5 out of 8, into an improper fraction, and you're using clock method for that. It helps if you can do side calculation instead of just doing it in your head, because sometimes you tend to get careless mistakes. So 2 times 8 gives 16. 16 goes down. So 16 plus 5 gives what? 21. then give a shape around 21 so that you know that's going to be your new numerator. So 21 out of 8. So step 1 is done. So bringing everything down, 6 times 21 out of 8. Now you have a choice. Either you can use canceling method or the normal method of how you can multiply the whole with with a fraction. Let's just quickly recap our LO and S2S for today. Today we are multiplying a mixed number with a one-digit whole number. Our S2S step to success for today is first we need to convert the mixed number into an improper fraction. It's called the clock method. We have done this lesson last year. It helps if you keep on practicing and practicing so that you get the hang of it. Step 2, use canceling method, or you can use the normal method, which we have done last week. So if you need to recall on those steps, you can rewatch my lesson video. The link is still in the WhatsApp group, or you can text me privately to ask for the link for the videos. And lastly, step 4, simplify the fraction if you can. Today's exercise is your HLP, the first one. It's on page 79. Please use pen, and it helps also if you can write down the S2S on the right, on the top right hand corner of the paper. If you have any questions, if you have any problems, you can always contact me privately on my WhatsApp. Also, before I forget, please show your working. Whatever working that is you need to do, just do it on the paper so that I can track whatever working that you have done, in case you got the answers wrong. So that's all for today. Good luck, everyone. Bye.